I think you should realize something. You've survived every single thing you once said you couldn't. Every bad day, every heartbreak, every single thing you said would break you, you've made it through all of them. So maybe it's time you start thinking of yourself as the villain of the story. And maybe you deserve more kindness than you ever allowed yourself to have. We talk a lot about a lot of things, but we rarely ever talk about how to be kind to ourselves and how to make that kindness last. The truth is, it's not one big realization, it's a series of small ones, a lifelong habit, if you will. So now, let's go about learning a few ways of learning how to be kind to ourselves for a long time. Notice the voice. Before we can learn how to be kind to ourselves, we should first learn how often we aren't. Because self criticism doesn't always shout, it seeps in quietly. It hides in those harmless thoughts when you think, why did I do that? I should have known better. It feels like accountability, but what it really is just constant disapproval. You don't need to pass judgment or silence it immediately. That's basically just self criticism wearing a different outfit. Don't say, oh my god, I'm doing it again. I'll never learn. Don't do that. Instead, try observing it like a neutral observer. Just label it. Say, this is judgment. This is comparison. You don't need to change it immediately. You just need to see it clearly. Speak to yourself like someone you love. Think about the person you love the most, your sibling, your parent, or maybe even your pet. If they came to you and they felt embarrassed or small, would you tell them, yeah, you're such a disappointment, you'll never learn? Or would you say, hey, breathe, it's okay, you're human, we can try again later tomorrow? Now imagine saying those same words to yourself. Of course, you're going to go feel resistance in the start. That's because you've never felt compassion in your own voice. But it's almost like that's the whole point, right? When you stop punishing yourself for being human, you create room to grow. Here's what I think you already know how to be kind. You just forget to include yourself in that circle. Multiply the good, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gratitude rule. Did you know that on average, we have about 70,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of them are negative? Many of them just about ourselves. That's thousands of tiny cuts before even breakfast. So the next time you notice yourself being harsh, try doing this. Say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am just not thinking about that anymore. Mel Robbins actually suggests the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. What it does is that it snaps your brain out of the autopilot and gives you a choice. Then replace that thought with gratitude. If you said one cruel thing about yourself, say two or three kind ones back. Replace, multiply, rebalance. I know saying be grateful can sound abstract. That's why I like to turn it into something a little more structured, almost like a manual for your mind to follow. The next time you notice yourself going down this spiral, maybe take a book and write down three things that you're grateful for about yourself, not in general. Remember, gratitude isn't pretending that everything is perfect. It's just about remembering that not everything is awful. Breathe before you react. The thing is, your body knows when your mind starts spiraling. Your breath shortens, your chest tightens. That's your cue. Pause, inhale, and exhale. You don't need to push those thoughts away or drown them in logic. You just need to simply observe them like passing clouds. Say, okay, this is frustration. And notice how that simple acknowledgement takes away their power. When you can't think your way through emotions, feel your way through them softly, patiently, without turning your pain into identity. Kindness isn't always doing more. Sometimes it's allowing yourself to stop fighting with your own mind for a minute. The inner child. This one's actually very close to my heart. So, a while ago, I found a picture of myself as a baby and I stuck it on my washroom mirror. Next to it, I wrote, I release the need for perfection. I embrace the beauty of being real, raw, and human. I will not shrink myself to fit into someone else's standard of beauty. If I could hug the child in this picture, I would. So today, I will hug myself instead. Even now, every once in a while, on random mornings, when I say something unkind to myself looking at the mirror, my eyes always drift to that picture. And I feel like she's asking me, why would you say that to me? The truth is, no, I wouldn't. So why say it now when she's still me? You can try this too. Write something personal, something only you would understand. It doesn't have to be poetic, it just has to be real. You need to understand that the child you once were is still listening to you. Be the voice they needed to hear. Write it out. When your mind feels crowded, journaling gives your thoughts a place to land. You don't need to write something profound. That's where we go wrong. You don't need to even make sense. Simply take a pen and set a target of filling 2 or 3 pages and just write anything. You need to let your thoughts take shape outside of your body. Some days it'll sound angry, some days empty, and that's okay. You're not writing for clarity, you're writing for release. The thing is, when you let your thoughts trap inside your body, they grow teeth. When you release them and put them on paper, they shrink, they soften. Be logical, gently. When nothing works out, try being logical. Because sometimes kindness is not emotional, it's practical. When you're going down that spiral, take a pause. Is this true? Is this actually helpful? Is this making me a better person or simply making me smaller? If it's not true, let it go. If it's not helpful, stop feeding it. If it's something you can change, act. If it's something you can't, simply forget. Because logic isn't the opposite of emotion. It's simply that helps emotion find its way home. Soothe and surround. Sometimes kindness can be tackled by more than just thoughts. It's about comfort, warmth, and safety. When you're feeling anxious, just hold your own hands, place your palm over your heart, or wrap yourself in a little heavy blanket that feels cozy enough to soften your breath. And slowly surround yourself with gentleness, people who don't make you flinch, colors that calm you, and music that slows you down. Because the more kindness you surround yourself with, the more your mind learns that that is the baseline and not the exception. Look, I know it's hard. I know it feels easier to be cruel than to be kind. But the thing is, you are the person you spend most of your time with. You live inside your head than you would live anywhere else. So make it a kind place to live. Not perfect, not quiet, just kind. And if that feels impossible for you right now, start small. You don't have to do all of this. Just you need to start somewhere. So every day, choose one thing, just one, that you'll do the moment you catch yourself being harsh. Experiment, see what works for you. Some days you'll forget, some days everything will feel empty and nothing will work. But even trying to be kind is an act of kindness. So if you take away anything from this video, let it be this: that moment when the voice inside your head turns against you, don't force it, don't feed it, simply meet it with kindness. You're not broken. You're simply learning a new way to speak to yourself. And that takes time. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, stay becoming.